resume, and this is my thing.
Here you go, sir. Tyson Fitzer, I'll be doing your interview today.
All right, good.
I'll just start off. I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Diego Aldridge. I'm from Huron SD. I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I've moved a couple times, but I've worked here most of my life.
Okay. How come you left your last job? It says you've worked at Grumpy's, Ryan's Hangar, and you did your own detailing business. Why'd you leave Ryan's Hangar?
I just not like how it was run. The boss. I didn't really we didn't get along very well. And I also wanted to do my own business. I wanted to fully focus on that.
Do your own thing?
Yep.
Okay. What experience do you have in this field?
I don't have that much experience, but I am taking classes through Lake area where I will gain experience on my life.
Okay. How do you think your coworkers would describe you?
I think my coworkers would describe me a fun, enjoyable person to be around. Makes the workplace really fun, but also very serious when work needs to be done.
So get it done, but still a fun person to be around.
Yep.
Okay. What have you done to improve your knowledge in this field within the last year?
I'm obviously taking stuff through Lake area, trying to do that. I have my own detailing business where I've done a lot of sales where I've had to try to sell my name, just so I can detail the car, make my own money.
So with the detailing business, is that just like your own thing? How
Yep.
did you get that started up?
I started that probably about a year ago. I was off and on with it pretty good because I'm a mobile detailer where I can only go to their house, and it's also I don't have a garage or like a shop, so it's only more of a summer gig and maybe the end of the year, like the school year gig.
How did you originally start that up? Did you just?
I originally started because I was watching these videos on here, and I also I wasn't really getting along with my boss at the time, so I wanted to work for myself and I wanted to make my own money and make my own brand.
Okay. What have you done to improve hang on, are you applying for any other jobs right now?
No, this is my only one.
What kind of salary do you need?
Just salary to get by and have a little extra money to save, invest, and maybe have a little fun.
Would you consider yourself a team player?
I would consider myself a team player. I do enjoy work. I think two people are better than one. Two minds together can create a lot more than one mind could.
What's your general philosophy towards work?
I think that you should be very dedicated into whatever you're doing, even if you don't enjoy doing it.
So just get it done, that's your
Yep.
main thing? Okay. Have you ever been asked to leave a position?
No, I've never been asked to. I was one time. That was freshman year when I was 14 and I made dumb decisions.
Why should we hire you?
Because I am a very hardworking. I'm very dedicated. I'm very motivated. I'm willing to get up early. I'm willing to go to bed late for your job, and really give up all social life for your job.
What's something that irritates you about coworkers?
Something that irritates me about coworkers is, one. There's many reasons, but one is that if we don't really get along, if they're not really a people person, but if they're too much of a people person, they just want to talk all the time and never work. I want that middle ground of like they want to work, but they also want to have fun. You don't want to work with someone that you can't get along with.
So you're saying I understand the very open, very talkative, and not real hardworking. What about the other side of it? You said somewhere in the middle. What do you mean by the extreme to the other side?
Like I want someone who I can talk to, but also who will also really work hard.
Okay, so you don't want someone completely closed off.
Yeah, I don't want someone that's just like, you just see there and they're just kind of sitting there.
Yeah. What would you say your greatest strength is?
I'd say my greatest strength is my discipline. I'm very disciplined in pretty much all aspects of my life.
Okay. What about a weakness?
Weakness is I get way too focused into something, and like some people say that's a good thing, but actually for me it's a bad thing because I get way too focused on one thing and I exclude everything else. And some of those things I'm excluding are actually very important and key things to what I'm working on.
So I noticed you don't have a lot of experience in this field. I was just wondering, why do you think you would do well in this particular job?
I'm very hardworking, and I know how hard I'm willing to work, and I know I work every single day towards it.
What's kind of person? I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but what's someone you would just refuse to work with?
Someone that's very lazy.
Lazy.
Yep, super talkative, doesn't want to do anything, always complaining.
What's more important to you, the money or the work?
Both.
Oh,
Both is very important to me because you need money to live, but the work, if I'm going to work somewhere, I want it to be important.
what would your previous supervisor say about your?
I'm very hardworking, they'll say that. I like to, yeah, like I like to have fun. I'm like that middle ground where I like to have fun, but when it comes to working, I will work.
What's something that disappointed you about a job?
Probably how the things were run, like my last job, but most importantly, when I worked at Grumpy's on there, is the owner was not the best at running his business. He wasn't really a businessman. He was more of like a smart intellectual guy, and it ended up his business failing actually and going down.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your ability to work under pressure? How good are you when it comes to it?
I'm really good at working under pressure. If I know what it's a off and on actually thing. If I don't know what I'm doing, it's kind of freak out a little bit. But if I know exactly what I need to do, that pressure is excluded. It's like it's not even there.
So let's say you are not really sure what's going on. What would be your best?
I would find
approach
out
to-
what is going on.
What would be your best approach though to get
What might
something
be?
figured
I
out?
would
Like,
figure. I would get more.
if you haven't been told initially and you're coming into a situation.
I kind of would like ask. I would ask a lot of questions, and I'd get really organized. I can't really work when I'm not organized, so I like to be very, very organized in everything. Because then, when you're organized, you can see everything.
You said ask questions. Are you talking about like asking coworkers? or-
Yep, asking coworkers what's going on, and then once I'm educated on what's going on, because I don't want to make a decision on something that I'm not educated on. I want to be educated on the decision I'm going to make, so I don't make the bad or the wrong decision.
What would you say motivates you to do your best on the job?
What motivates me to do my best is the end work. The end work is always the most important work, and it's not even the fact, like, even sometimes, I mean, you could even say this, that when you're working, sometimes it's not fun, but when you know you're gonna get it done and you're gonna get it done good, it's amazing.
Would you be willing to relocate if you were asked to?
Yes and no, and this is because if it's very important to the business and they're about to go bankrupt, or something just like something came up and it's very, very urgent, then yes, I would. But if it was a preference from the business and they didn't, like, if they just wanted me to be there, then probably not, because I do have family here and I want to see them.
So you're saying if you absolutely had to, are you willing to put the interest of the organization ahead of your own? Is that what you're kind of
Yes,
implying?
I'm very willing to do that.
What have you learned from mistakes on the job?
I've learned from mistakes I've learned from is just like, you always learn from your mistakes, because like I've made plenty of mistakes, and what I've learned from those mistakes, not just individual mistakes, is that I've learned that you're gonna learn from them and you're gonna move on.
If you were in my shoes right now, you're hiring a person for this job, what would you look for?
I would look for someone that is very hardworking, very dedicated, and honestly put their interests into the job. Who's actually interested in the job? You don't want to hire someone that's not interested in what they're doing. Then they're just doing it for the pay.
We kind of talked about this a little bit before, but I mean, work experience is a nice thing to have, and you're not real experienced in this field. How do you propose you could compensate for your lack of experience?
Study. I would ask coworkers. I would go out, maybe watch videos about it. Everything, anything that I can learn, I will learn.
What qualities would you say you look for in a boss?
In a boss, I look for someone that's very relatable, a people person. A boss needs to be a people person. If they're not someone that you want to talk to, then it's not a good boss, because then I don't want a boss who comes in the room and like, oh, my boss is here. I want a boss to be like, oh, my boss is here. Thank goodness, I love my boss. That's what I want in a boss.
Say you're working on a team project, what position would you prefer to take, or what role?
Probably
would you
like the
prefer?
leader,
Leader?
the leader of whatever the project is. I like to be in control of most situations, just to know that they're right.
Why don't you describe your work ethic?
I'd say, I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 10. My work ethic is very, very well. And an example is, I've done many things about like marathons and stuff like that to prove that, I work outside of everything that I do.
What has been your biggest professional disappointment?
Probably leaving the job that went under, because I was working at this Grumpy's place, and he put me in a very Like he put a lot of responsibility on me, and he wanted me to make the menu. He wanted me to make prices. He wanted me to go find people. I was only 15 at the time, so I wasn't really educated in this, but I really loved the business. I really liked the restaurant. I thought it had a lot of potential, and I wanted to stick around. But when it came to the end of the day, I left because of him, and I do regret that.
Alright, should be about it. You got any questions for me?
What do you look in for an employee?
Like I said, work experience definitely does help, but yeah, I guess someone who's on time,
Mm-hmm.
maybe showing up, and yeah, like you said before, someone who's invested in the
Mm-hmm.
work itself. So yeah, I'll give you a call. Thank you.
All right.